Hello, everybody. I'm Daniel. I'm the founder of Startup CPG, and I'm really excited to be here today with our partners from Rowe. That's right, this card, the one I keep in my wallet. My whole team has Rowe cards as well. I was really excited to switch our whole company over to Rowe because I have a growing team. We are at 12 people now, and it is not the kind of scenario where everyone can just work off the same credit card. We need virtual cards and physical cards for everybody, and just a really easy, nice approval process, ways for everybody to get the things that they need for their department. And I don't know what I was doing with my money in other accounts, but I definitely wasn't getting yield off the savings. They were in the wrong accounts. They weren't getting yield, which is like lost money. Like I should think about that as lost revenue. So I was really happy to get switched over to Rowe, got my money into accounts that actually like generating yield, all the good stuff, manage all of our expenses. And I think like Rowe, you guys probably pick up on this as compared to, I mean, there are other offerings out there. One of the things that I like best and that I hear really consistently about the Rowe team is they are there when you need them. If anytime I have an issue and I need to contact support, someone is there right away on the chat. And if I email the Rowe team, they will help me out too. They have started working with dozens and dozens of brands in our community ever since we launched this partnership with them. The brands have been very excited about it. Even a bunch of them actually got a billboard in Times Square. Some of them were in town for founders and funders last week, and they got to see their brand up in Times Square on a billboard that Rowe had coordinated. So all of that stuff is pretty awesome. So anyways, we're really a proud partner of Rowe's. And just because there's been so much interest in the platform overall, we just wanted to do a live demo today, basically. So I was just asking if Gavin could come and just show it to you guys so you can understand what it is. Have the chance to, if you have any questions, ask those, and feel free to drop them in the chat at any point. Gavin, over to you, my friend.
Yeah, thanks, Daniel. Thanks for all the kind words, and it was definitely fun to attend Founders and Funders as well. See all the great things you guys do. Yeah, today we can run through Rowe at a high level, kind of like what our infrastructure looks like, why behind what a fintech platform is, and why you would use one as opposed to a current bank or a traditional bank or a like Amex card, Expensify, all these different systems that you may have used at like a corporate job in times past. That's what that's what you've used, and why Rowe exists is a big topic. And then we can jump into the demo of the platform as well. So without further ado, high level with Rowe, we are an all-in-one banking platform. We cover a bunch of different aspects across banking and spend management. More importantly, just to highlight some people that we've worked with in the past, and really a big nexus of why we looked into working with Startup CPG and ultimately partnered up. You can see some logos there that you might recognize with Mudwater and Dr. Squatch. These two companies are companies that started with us back in 2019 or 2020, around that time when we first started. They obviously have grown into really good breakout brands. Just a testament to one, really great founders, but also the longevity of the platform and how we invest in relationships for the long haul. A little bit of kind of housekeeping on how we actually do banking. Rowe is a fintech platform. We don't we don't operate a bank ourselves. We partner with a bank. They're a Webster National Bank based out of Connecticut. They're 100 years old. They have around $75 billion of assets under management. They have a ton of other business lines. Rowe is one of them. We are delighted to partner with Webster. We have worked with them for a good amount of time at this point. More importantly, what that allows us to do is provide really good tech on the banking side without having to compromise on any sort of institutional grade quality. Then secondly, on our card side, MasterCard is our partner. They underpin everything with our cards, with every Rowe card that's issued. It's the World Elite for Business card underlying. And then on top of it, you get access to all of our tech, all of our cash back, things like that. Jumping into a little bit more details on banking, and we're actually going to see this in real time. But Rowe is free of fees completely. We have no fees on banking. It's a completely streamlined dashboard and consolidated platform. We have options on savings and treasury, or what can be thought of as like a corporate brokerage. That is either super high FDIC insurance in our savings account up to $75 million, or direct investment into assets like T-bills or mutual funds in our treasury account. That kind of account structure there. Savings account, really high FDIC insurance, really good safety there. And then on the investment side, really high yield. Those are the two kind of benefits of those accounts. No fees on ACH or wire. The only fee you'll ever pay on Rowe is a 1% foreign exchange rate. And then we integrate with most accounting softwares most commonly used: NetSuite, QuickBooks, Sage, Intact, Xero, what have you. On the spend side, you can create unlimited virtual and physical cards, as Daniel was mentioning. If you have employees or if you have, some contractors that you want to have access to some money, you can easily issue them cards on the fly. You can approve different limits, limit increases. You can also just do, if you're a solo founder and you're like, I just want to have access to everything, throw a card on with no limit, and then, you can go ahead business as usual. There's really good expense management that we'll dive into with really granular controls. This is where, when you hit that kind of Series A stage and beyond, we're having a well built out expense management policy internally is going to help with your operational workflows, and it's going to help, make sure you're optimizing for spend and for burn there. And then whenever you swipe your card, an expense is created. That transaction will have data that you could add to it so that you can keep track of where your money is, why'd you spend it, who was there if you want, what department it's related to, and we'll dive into all of those details. And then lastly, we have a native bill pay product. It's completely free to use for our clients. You effectively don't need bill.com for these, simple invoices that you may be paying down. Why pay a fee on something that is, a fairly simple and straightforward process? So we built a product for you. Lastly, with a really good kind of comprehensive platform, we looked around that out with really great service, as Daniel mentioned as well. Really, really responsive on the client service side. Something else that's important is we have dedicated account managers. You'll always have somebody who's your quarterback between you and anywhere within Rowe that you need access to, whether it's financial operations team, product, just day to day, maybe a technical issue or your integration is, not mapping over in the way that you would like it to. We can always tap in and help in many ways. But I'm going to stop sharing here and switch over to the demo. If there are any questions, more than happy to. Daniel, if there's anything you think would be good to cover before jumping in there, more than happy to take a beat.
No, let's do it. I was just reflecting on how much better your customer service is than my personal banks that I use in my own, and personal, not business stuff. And just when I have issues with them, even when you have the account managers there, they're just like, I don't know, here's a phone number. I don't know who it goes to. You'll be on hold. And first, I've had, stuff happens. I've had probably 4 times I've had to contact the Rowe team with stuff because I sent a wire and then I have to track it down or something. And just people always go above and beyond to help out. Yeah. You immediately get somebody on the chat. It's a person. It's not a chat bot. You don't have to be like, no, it's something else. Please let me actually talk to someone. I'm the person who's always on the phone going, agent, no, put me through the agent. But it's nice with you guys to get right through.
Force it to a person.
Yes.
Yeah. Our whole philosophy is, you're going to have problems in banking, period, no matter where you are. You're going to want a person, as soon as possible. So we index heavily towards, people first. But
I support that.
Jump into that's good to know.
When it comes to your company money, you want that.
Yeah. So this is a dev or a development environment.
You're showing that balance. That's so embarrassing.
Yeah. Wish I had that in my checking account. But for the purpose of this today, this is the home screen. Whenever you have an account on Rowe, you're going to have a consolidated dashboard. You can see all your recent transactions here across different accounts, across different transaction types, whether it's an internal transfer, external, a card payment, things like that. You can see your spend against your total balance. If you're on the 1-day card, which we can dive into, or the 30-day card, which is more of that, 30 days of float, you'll be able to see how you're tracking against whatever's available. And then consolidated view of all your accounts. We can jump into banking first. What we can see here is, in this hypothetical scenario, from Series A all the way down to payroll here, these are all checking accounts. What that means for a consumer company, maybe you're not going to separate your Series A around from your operating to your payroll, but what you might do is benefit from having unique account and routing numbers. So all of these sub accounts are unique. If you have a distributor that you want to be dispersing funds into a separate checking account so that you can say, hey, whatever is going through this distributor, going to land in here. I'll do an internal transfer to my operating account so I can spend that day to day. But it's a nice way to separate funds so you have some visibility over things that you might not have if it's all just lumped into one account. So really, really great feature as well. You can separate your payroll, connect this specific account and routing number right into that platform. What we were chatting about as well on the savings and treasury side. Savings, this rate fluctuates as all rates do, just as the Fed does what they do best. But what this has access to, the $75 million in FDIC insurance, if you say raise a round and you're a little bit more sensitive to the FDIC, then you can put it straight into your savings account. And then on the treasury side, if you're looking for yield,
Can I just, sorry, I just want to make sure I understood the point. You said is there like a standard level of FDIC insurance that's up at a certain level?
Yeah. Very, very great question. So typically in a regular checking account here, you're going to have $250,000 of FDIC insurance. Industry standard across banks across the country. Every banking institution, they're going to have that limit that the FDIC is willing and able to cover in the event that bank goes under. When you think about why that matters for a savings account, you effectively say you raise $1 million round, and you don't want to put that directly into a checking account because $750,000 of that will not be FDIC insured. What you can do in your savings account is deposit it there. We manage on our back end a sweep across 4 partner banks. There's a network of 500 that manage all of these up to $75 million. But that $1 million will be divided in 4 segments. It will always be FDIC insured no matter what. And this is your only interaction with that process. We handle all of that on the back end. So if you say, hey, I have some excess funds, I want $1 million to go in here from my Series A round that I'm very happy that I closed, I can go ahead and confirm that transfer in, and that'll be dispersed across those partner banks for me, and I don't have to think about it.
So you're saying like no matter how big the number is that you put into savings, it's going to get you guys are going to spread it out across enough accounts where the whole thing is FDIC insured.
Exactly. Yep. Up to $75 million.
Sick.
Yeah.
All right. Sweet. I'm glad I asked that. That's
yep.
Great.
Good to know. Treasury, this is going to operate similarly if you have say your own personal Fidelity account. Similar structure. These are publicly listed securities, but it's being managed from your Rowe Treasury dashboard. So you can invest in either treasury bills or a mutual fund. The MULSX is the ticker or the code associated with that product. It's been created by Morgan Stanley. Very great asset that a lot of our clients invest in, and it allows you to kind of automate away a little bit of that cash management. Daniel, as you were saying, if you have in excess a bunch of money that you want to be going to work for you, if you're not spending that and you want it to be earning yield, that's great. But also, if you want to automate away some of those transfers, we have the ability for you to put some funds into this account and say, hey, if my checking balance in my operating account goes below that $300,000 range by, say, if it dips to $250,000, I want my treasury account to move 75 grand over into my operating account. So it's an automatic top up. So I don't have to worry about how much I actually have access to.
Which is nice because I want that yield. I want it in there, getting the T-bill rate, which also a cool thing that Rowe does is when, because it's the T-bill rate, which changes, but they'll tell you when it changes, it's like, oh, wait, the number, the yield changed. Why is that? And they hit you actually right there with an explanation. Yeah, actually the Fed just changed its rates. Here's what happened, which is cool. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, a good proactive notification there. And then Daniel, this is probably your favorite area, the rewards account. This is where your cash back will go, where you had a pleasant surprise. Whenever you end of month, usually a week or so after month end, you'll be able to hit redeem here, and it'll send those funds directly into your checking account.
And remind me again, what is I think it's like a 2% or something, up to 2% cash back that you get off basically any purchase you make.
Yep, exactly. It's not this 10% here. It is 2%. When you swipe your Rowe card, if you're on Rowe for your banking and your card spend, you qualify for something called Rowe Platinum. On the 1-day card, or like your debit card, that's going to be 2% cash back. If you do our 30-day card, which operates more like how Amex used to, it was like more of like a charge card, that is going to be 1.75%. At a week or so after a month ends, you'll have all that cash back deposited into your rewards account, and then you can just go ahead and transfer it into your checking account and just keep spending.
That's real stuff. I was telling Gavin about this before we started the recording. Of just like, yeah, my team has spent we just had our founders and funders event. We have a lot of expenses on our team cards around that stuff. But I mean, if you put $100K in meta ads on these cards, you're going to have $2,000 basically sitting in your rewards, and then you just transfer that back into your bank account. So I know every credit card has like point systems and stuff, but I mean, if you're like alternately just paying with a regular debit card or something, often you wouldn't get that. So I hope everybody's using their money to the fullest.
Yeah. And it's always good. Also, cash back. We always look at that. It's better to put funds back into the business. In consumer, super high cost industry, nothing like money in hand and not having to focus on having to be a points technician and understand where your multipliers are on your Amex Platinum. Although it's fun on the personal side and you can maybe get a free trip here and there, we find put cash in the hands of founders. They can grow their business, and however much you sell your company for will probably be more valuable than the points.
I like both. I mean, I love the points guy. I followed him for like 15 years, but
he's great.
I mean, the cash back is a lot easier to use than points.
Yeah. When you're running a company, might be easier.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you look to create cards, you can see here, Brendan, David, Dylan, these are all folks at Rowe. There I am. These are all virtual cards and physical cards that you can create easily. Whether you're a account owner, say you're the founder of the company and you want to issue one for an employee, or if you're the employee yourself and I'm saying, hey, I'm Gavin, I'm able to spend, X amount of money, and we can dive into the different, user controls that you have. But I'm Gavin, I want to create a card on a monthly limit. I want this card to have, 10K available. I'm leading a certain, initiative and I need some budget. I can go ahead and create that card. Once I hit create card here with the correct, billing address in there, I have international spend on, it'll prepare this for me. Because it's a virtual card, this is automatically active. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to wait. I don't have to call a number or scan a QR code just yet. This is going to be live and ready to go. Then
it's a cool thing because I've onboarded team members who we need to come to a trade show like the next week. And then you're just like, great, here's your virtual card. You can use this to book all of your flights, put it into your Uber app, like you're covered. And then they don't have to bother somebody else on the team to keep using their credit card. So I love the virtual card, like day one.
Yeah, exactly. And say you have, someone jumping out to a conference and they're like, hey, it's a little more pricey than expected. I need, another couple $100 to manage. You can easily request higher limits in the platform, within the app. And then Daniel here, if I was, your employee, you'd get pinged. You'd be like, extra $200, like, no way. Where are you going for dinner? Not going to happen. Or you'd be like, yeah, here's $300, go have fun. But really easy to manage those kind of, more granular workflows that you wouldn't necessarily think would be, a big need, but they're nice to have when you need them. Same process here on physical cards. Only difference here, this takes 3 to 5 days to ship to you. You get a nice Rowe branded package. You can scan your QR code, pull out the card, and then that's ready to go once that code is scanned. You can select your shipping address. If you have your employee's address, you can throw it in there. If you want to throw in their unique one, so you don't have to manage, having them come to your house, and then you have to worry about getting to the right folks. You can manage all that here. Wanted to pause here because for the virtual card, glazed over these two aspects here can be very powerful when issuing cards to new employees. Maybe you don't know them personally. They're not your founder. They're not, your first sales hire, but maybe they're an ops person that came from a background at like another company and you're bringing them on board, but you just want to be able to control their spend a little bit. You don't want to give them kind of like carte blanche to spend on every single thing. And then it's just kind of up to you to either trust them or comb through their statement. You can say, hey, I'm only giving you access to, go to the Hilton for your trip and, maybe hit Chipotle and then, You can get gas if you want. I can issue this card to somebody if I, want to be that, focused on that. If that's a little bit too granular, you can also say, hey, I am fine with most things, but don't hit the casino and don't go to the bar, something like that. You can easily set these, controls, whether it's top down or bottom up.
And you can do one-off cards, like, hey, I just need to give this person a card to buy this one thing, or with this one limit. Like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. You can show you here, single use card. If you're like, hey, I know you're gonna, do a 10K transaction for, some contractor, some, marketing push, and, I'll do 10K and $1, just to account for, some discrepancy. And I can issue this to say, if Patrick, needs to be the one doing that, he'll go into his app, he'll have this virtual card. He swipes that card once and then it's no longer active. The transaction will go through, but I've only then issued him, access to company funds for that one instance.
It's not, maybe someone needs to like ship you something like, okay, cool. Here's you can use this single use of FedEx to send that thing back or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty cool.
Yep. This is my favorite aspect of the platform. It's a really small feature, but I think it's great, especially for saying, if you're in the position where, you're like, okay, I'm on, a traditional bank. I have all my cards tied to that, card. I get the value, but, making that migration is something that I'm not, super psyched about, even though I know it's, just like maybe 30 minutes of time. I don't really want to like put that aside from, focusing on work. This is a really a big time saver for folks. If I say, spend a ton on Amazon ads or Amazon business, say for this sake, what this will do, I select that vendor. I can create a vendor card specifically for that. So this card can only be used for Amazon business. If I wanted to be more general and say like my subscriptions card, I could do this as well. And then what this platform will do is it'll prompt me to log in to Amazon business. I'm not going to click it here because it'll pull me into that flow, but it'll prompt me to log into Amazon. I'll get a 2FA code to my phone. And then what I can do then is switch my payment method for that vendor to my Rowe card with that new Rowe virtual card that was created without actually leaving the Rowe platform. It manages all of that for me. I don't have to go and search in and find where the wallet is and add all my details in those 4 little text boxes. This will manage all of that for you. Cool. So then on the expenses side, as you spend, like I mentioned, these different things will populate. There are different layers of approvals that you can set up. You can make it so you require different things, expense rules that will show up. You can require receipts. Typically, we see, IRS guidelines or anything above $75 requires a receipt. That's why we have this one active here. Basically, what that means, you're below $75, you're auto approved, fine and good to go. If you go, say an $80 transaction, you're going to be pinged, whether it's through a text message, an in-app notification, an email, to upload a receipt to this that specific expense, and then it'll go to your higher up to review. If you have a vertical owner, and then you need the vertical owner to report into the CFO, that's where approvals will come into play. If there's something that's $100 and I need to report to my manager, I can also set it so they require me to report into their manager. So you can do a very, granular workflow here, and also, notify some folks if they want to have some visibility. But basically you can get really custom here as far as who has approval rights.
Before we go to the next, to the reimbursements, can I just want to let everyone know, I just pasted in the chat here the link if you want to chat with the Rowe team. And also there is a very cool offer. Maybe, Gavin, do you mind previewing that for everyone? And if you just use the link that I dropped in there, then you'll be eligible for it.
Yeah, more than happy to. So what Daniel is alluding to is in this process, we've been able to cook up a nice welcome offer to Startup CPG members. This is a nice way to welcome you to the platform. Maybe we'll help you justify spending the 30 minutes to do so. But more importantly, you can put some cash back towards your business. So what this offer is if you join Rowe, You migrate your banking and your cards on over, and your account balance is $20,000 or more for a 60-day time frame. We monitor that, and we'll issue you a $1,600 statement credit. All founders will get those metal cards that Daniel was showing earlier, and you'll qualify for Rowe Platinum, which is that 2% cash back.
That's amazing. So you can put 20K into your new Rowe checking account, and then you're going to get $1,600. That'll like pay for your expo flight and hotel or a bunch of stuff. So anyways, thank you guys for that deal. That's a very nice offer for everybody.
Yeah, of course. We love doing it. And the billboard is more fun associated with that as well. So if anyone wants to chat, we can dive into details there. But yeah, to close out here, we can go high level over bill pay and then maybe jump to some Q&A. We can also look at reimbursements and accounting, but those are fairly straightforward.
The reimbursements is cool because I definitely have employees who are like, oh, I didn't have my card or something I need, or like, I don't know, mileage or something like that. So you can just process it through the platform. I don't have to like do something complex.
Exactly. Yeah. So again, all your expenses will go here. In personal, you'll see everything you did. In that scenario that you accidentally, use your personal card, or you have to use your personal card because say, you didn't have it on your Apple Wallet just yet, and it was just issued, and you're like, I just need to buy this now, and then add it later, and you have to be reimbursed. Effectively, you upload your receipt, it pulls everything for you.
Sorry. I think you have to reshare the screen. Thank you. Alec mentioned that. Thank you, Alec.
Thanks, Alec. Cool. So back to reimbursements. Here, you have a personal and a company tab here. You can think of this in like two different lenses. Company is going to be like your CFO founder hat. Personal is going to be your employee hat. For the purpose of this, say, you accidentally use your personal card for whatever reason that is, you would go in here, upload your receipt to here. This would populate with the information from your receipt. And then you would be able to add your banking information here so that your personal bank account will be reimbursed by the company. Then take your employee hat off and go to the CFO mode. The CFO will be able to see, hey, these are reimbursements that my employees need to be, paid back for. I'm going to review this and I can, send that out for payment. And then I can sync that over into my accounting software so that that transaction is also synced with the reimbursement. On the bill pay side, very similar workflow there with uploading a receipt. In this case, it's going to be your invoice. It's all pulled into here. And then you'll be prompted to select which method you want to pay somebody, whether it's an ACH or a wire or a card. You'll also have, when you have a live Rowe account, it'll be just below bills here, and it'll be your company name and then at roweap.com. What that basically is a forwarding inbox for you. If you get emailed a receipt, instead of you having to download that, or say you get emailed an invoice, instead of you having to download that invoice, go and send it to your Rowe email or upload it directly to this, you can forward that invoice email to this Rowe email that will be here, and it'll automatically populate into the platform, and you can just pay it down without having some extra steps. And then lastly, for accounting, when you do an integration to an accounting platform, as you see, we have a bunch here. Let's say for QuickBooks, as a ton of people use that. We have either a direct integration or a bank feed. In this case, you would do one or the other, but effectively what this means in the case of the direct integration, you'll be able to use this accounting dashboard and do a lot of your coding for these transactions within Rowe. So say, I'm looking at payroll, it's a banking transaction, probably not an automobile transaction. So I can go and look for payroll. Once I find it, I select it, and then what I can do there is I know this is edited. I can either select and sync one transaction, or if I just did a bunch of bulk actions and I just want to sync the whole thing, I can go ahead and manually sync it. Then you can also set up recurring sync, so you can automate away a little bit of that work. Great. And then lastly, you can add as many users as you'd like to the platform. There's no fee to add additional users. We don't do per seat fees. We don't do fees in general, like I mentioned. When you want to add someone, you just need to go first and last name, email, phone number, and then you have a bunch of different types of personas that you can add, whether they're a account owner or a bookkeeper or an employee or an investor, all of these people have very granular access controls that you could further customize however you'd like. If you know your employee and say you only have, one head of sales, maybe they have a little bit more responsibility than somebody that, you only want to be able to access their cards. You can have them, say, I actually want my employees to issue their own physical cards. I don't want to do that for them. They can do their virtual cards as well. And then you can just get, down into all the details of what you actually want these folks to do. And then lastly, may not pop up on this, but our partner perks, very robust. We see it's getting a little glitchy here, but these are, this will show up properly on the actual environment. These are up to $1 million plus in discounts and bonus items that you can get from partners that we have, whether it's from discounts on QuickBooks, discounts on Slack, Gusto, different things like that. We always love to, tap our network and help, spread the wealth to our clients. So really help decrease costs when you're first getting started and setting up your business. I think, Daniel, that's a good kind of spot for us to pause here if we want to go to maybe Q&A.
Let us know if anyone has a question. Feel free to drop it in the chat. I was just thinking about, I have worked with some terrible banks in the past, and I'm very happy that you guys make it so easy, because I just want a platform that's just going to do all the stuff that I want it to do. And so it's just not like a pain in the butt for me. And I can tell you, I have a bank account that I've had for a long time with Everbank, which used to be TIAA. I don't have the foggiest idea how to send an ACH or wire with them. Their portal is terrible. It's built to do 3 things, see your balance. Even if I want to look at my transactions, it's a whole thing. It just takes forever.
Yeah.
And they change my password all the time. You have to call them, and it just sucks. And then I way back when I had opened an account at US Bank, because the day I wanted to open the account, they were the only bank that was, I don't know, it was a Saturday. And then if I wanted to deposit a check, I basically had to go into the bank because their app was so bad. And it's a terrible use of my time. That's not what I just need to do all the stuff on the app. If I want to send an ACH, I just want to be able to do it in the platform. Yeah. And so you guys have built a very nice platform that just does everything that you would want for it to do. And it doesn't hold you up. It just is nice and clean and does all that stuff. So thank you for that. So, okay. Couple questions coming in here.
Cool.
Here's the first one from Jennifer. Do you have financial products like credit cards or lines of credit?
Yeah, so we don't have credit cards. The technical term, I guess, would be a charge card. What we do is when you join Rowe, we can underwrite your business based on your cash balance, as well as look at financials. And we can provide you a 30-day limit. So it's basically you have 30 days of float, and then you pay it down on that 31st day, or really end of month plus 1 day. That's a really great option for your day-to-day spend, especially for early stage brands. If you want to get off your personally guaranteed cards, Rowe is only a corporate liability. It has no impact on your business or your personal credit to get a limit with us. So really good way to extend runway. You'll earn that cash back, which is always great. And you'll be able to, maybe help you, get from a, production cycle to actually, finally get paid out from whatever retailer you're working with on net 30, net 60 terms. Good segue into line of credit as well. We have a lot of options here. We either are doing direct lending to our clients on a case-by-case basis. We can understand kind of their business structure, or we have a ton of partners in our network. We have partners from anything like a simple line of credit or PO financing, all the way up the stack to an asset-based line when you start to get into a couple $1 million in revenue and you want a little bit more robust of a structure. We have a ton of partners in that area. I can leave that there. I see we have another one as well.
Yep. Here's another all up in your business kind of question that I like, because this is something that I would ask too. How's Rowe making money?
It's a great
question. Is too good to be true. How you guys aren't doing this out of the goodness of your heart? How do you guys, where's your take? Where's your piece?
Very fair question. So Rowe makes money in 2 ways. When you think of how a bank makes money and how a credit card company makes money, they make money for a bank, spread on deposits. You put your money with them in their checking account. The bank goes out and lends those deposits. They make a little bit on top of that. Their job is to keep your money safe. But as a bank, operating their business, they're making that spread. We split that with our partner bank. We don't take it all. They're the bank at the end of the day, but you pass through us and we split that with Webster. On the card side, whenever, MasterCard, Visa, all these folks are orchestrating these payments, they're taking a couple percentage points on that transaction. Usually, say if you go to like a small business and you'll say like, hey, if you use your credit card, it's an extra 3%. They're passing that cost off to you. With a larger company, they're not going to do that because they're just absorbing that. But that fee is something that we take a percentage of as well. So we're purely volume based. We are not a kind of SaaS or software subscription based company. My kind of like little bit of a tangent on that. The reason why I like that and the reason why I like that Rowe is structured that way is it allows our incentives to be pretty aligned. When you think about like, why would we, help somebody get a billboard? Why would we do an event with a company that, knows a ton of founders and, just wants to have, a nice night? The best thing that we can do for Rowe's best interest, but also our clients, is invest in your growth. If you're a growing company, we can help you with market expansion. We can give you like a negative CAC moment, which is just, great. That is going to be, we're behooved to do that. Your bank account number goes up and your card spend number goes up, both of which are good things for us and for you. So that allows us to just be really tightly wound to our client base rather than trying to lock you into a year-long contract that, if we upset you and you're going to want to leave, you're going to be like, all right, well, I already paid.
I just was playing the clapping sound because you're the first person to ever use behoove on one of our webinars. So just congratulations to you.
I had an English teacher that abused it, and now it's just like in my vocabulary.
All right. I hit it prematurely, but I behoove everybody to come with very good vocab words like that. But that makes a lot of sense. And I appreciate that. And we, as a community, really appreciate you guys just supporting all of the brands, because I know it's like you've already started working with more than 50 brands from our community, and I know it will be tons and tons more. And that's why, because you guys are really supportive of the early stage brands. So thank you for that.
Yeah, appreciate it. Well, it's what we love to do. Definitely like the most fun part about my job, trying everyone's products and being a good early stage tester. We've had a couple people in the office giving everybody some samples, and coming through the Startup CPG community, if we can be some good early stage Q&A on the product, we always love to do it. It's a lot of fun.
I like it. And I like this comment from Jennifer. That's right. Gavin, were there any products at Founders and Funders that you were especially excited to snack on or to drink or to check out?
A lot. There was one actually that I had that I went into it thinking that I was not going to like it, and I was like blown away. It was the new chocolate flavor from Once Upon a Coconut.
Oh.
In my mind, like I'm not thinking Almond Joy. I'm not thinking like the actual applications of that. I'm just like, these two things are so starkly different. And I tried it, and I'm like, this tastes exactly like a Yoo-hoo. And it genuinely does. I don't know why.
That's so good.
That I was the most shocked by.
And it's hydrating. That's my go-to at all of the trade shows. I just try to map out where they are on the floor, because I'm just talking all day. I get so dehydrated. I just need to crush coconut water all day.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, guys, I think we got through a lot of the questions. So this is a really cool demo. If there are any other questions, feel free to drop them before we kind of cut off here. But I'm just going to, for the sake of everybody, drop the link here one more time, which is row.co/partner/startup CPG. And then you will be eligible for that lovely offer that the Rowe team, and I'll just show it here as the site. And cool. And we really look forward to getting to do lots of fun stuff with the Rowe team. It really they also were a sponsor for our Founders and Funders event last week, which all of the brands in our community know we can't do stuff like that without the partners, because basically our whole model is oriented around doing stuff really accessibly priced for the early stage brands. And we can only do that because of our partners. And so we really appreciate the Rowe team working with us on all of this fun stuff. And we will have so much more fun stuff coming. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and definitely click the link, chat with the Rowe team.
Yeah,
You'll have a good time.
Goes directly to me, so we'll chat.
That's amazing. All right.
Awesome.
Thank you, Gavin. We really appreciate the time today. And if anyone has other like questions for me about Rowe too, feel free to hit me. I'll probably refer you to Gavin, but definitely very excited about it, or ask anyone on my team. We all love using it.
Awesome. Thanks, Daniel.
All right. Thanks, everybody. So long.